Shabbat Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. You know what happened? Somebody called themselves. I guess they were trying to be nice, but I was offended. They were like, you know, today is really not the Shabbat. I said, first of all, you don't even know when the Shabbat is. The calendar has been changed by the Gentiles multiple times. So even you wouldn't be correct, right? So I don't know. I take offense to that because none of us got the right time or date, y'all. The Gentiles have tampered with virtually everything. So for somebody to walk around and believe they got it right is just downright laughable. So what are you basing your calculations on what the date is? You're doing that off of the Gregorian calendar, which means you would be incorrect too. Wow, some people really are naive. But Shabbat Shalom, family. We may not know the right time, but we certainly know once a week we are supposed to have a day of rest. That's one thing we do have right. Okay. All right, y'all. It's good to see you. And yes, we are going to talk about a boat that blew up on Lake Lanier. I mean, of all things to happen, this is deep. You know, I want to thank Tremel Taylor for bringing this story to my attention last night. And when I saw it, y'all, this happened on the 4th of July. And it happened at a time when a lot of people were on Lake Lanier with their boats. So it was a lot of people in the water with their boats. And it was, I believe, 5 people that had to go to a hospital. One person had to be airlifted. And the age range, I think the oldest person on the boat was 45 and the youngest was 5 years old. And they were all injured. Y'all, this thing looks bad the way it just black plumes of smoke and everything. But yeah, I guess people don't want to stay away from that lake. That lake, look, there was a guy about what, about a week ago that drowned out there. I think it was a Latino guy. Went out there, I guess, with some friends and family, and he dove in the water and never came back up. They had to go down there and get him. That's what they got to do most of the time. You know, when people dive in there and disappear, you remember that was once land. That Lake Lanier is a man-made lake, and those trees and homes and cemeteries and churches are still under that water, y'all. It's still down there. So when you dive down there, you can get caught into one of those trees down there. I'm not talking about no little trees. Those are big, giant trees. They had to put a lot of water in there to cover everything up. And we all know the story of Oscarville. It is the cruelest, evil. Boy, these people got hell to pay up in here. They really, truly do. They got hell to pay for all of the things they've done. And Oscarville, once again, was a very successful, um, it was a melanated town. Our people that were in that town, many of them were the former slaves, and they formed that town like many towns because we couldn't live among them. So we had to form our own towns. Our forefathers did. And they just would not leave us the hell alone, just like today. Their offspring can't leave us the hell alone either. Those people were thriving. They had farms, they had businesses, and they were really self sufficient. See, when they try to act like we can't live without them, that's a damn lie. We got many examples of us living just fine without them, and that was the problem. That was the job of the white mob, was to come and steal and tear everything down and kill people because we were making it without you and you couldn't stand it. So, y'all, I'm going to play some new music. I said, I got a lot stashed and I'll play some and I will publish this particular song. This song is called We're Set Apart, We're Not the Same. Set Apart, We're Not the Same. I'm going to share my screen and I'll play it for you and then we'll get into the story. Okay, y'all, give me a one if you can see my screen. Give me a one if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
We don't walk like them, we don't talk like them, we don't chase the trends, we don't blend in. Marked by the word, sealed by the flame, set apart in Yah's holy name. We were chosen in the fire, not the fame. We don't bow when they call our name. Don't mistake silence for shame. We're royalty, we're not the same.
You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Come out from among them and be separate. Corinthians 6:17. We're set apart, we ain't the same. Carried his name through the fire and the pain. We were chosen, not for show, but to walk in truth the world don't know. We're set apart, oh yes we are, shining like a promise under Yah's bright stars. We're set apart, we're not the same. We were made to glorify his name.
They said conform, but we refuse. We don't wear their chains or walk in their shoes. Our law is love, our steps are light. We follow Torah, we walk upright. Their gods are gold, their altars cracked. We serve the one who's coming back. We don't need fame, we don't need applause. We bow to Yah, the only cause.
You shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. We're set apart, we ain't the same. Covered by blood, not covered in blame. We're the ones he kept through the storm, a nation reborn, a people transformed. We're set apart, chosen by grace, called out from every land and place. We're set apart, we're not ashamed, 'cause we were made to glorify his name. Who are we? We the chosen, we the light, in his word, in his mind. Set apart, we made to shine, the most high all the time. They shall be mine, says Yah, in the day when I make up my truth. We're set apart, we ain't the same. We walk with purpose, not with shame. We're set apart, oh yes it's true, oh yes it's true. Shows us long before we knew. We're set apart, with truth in hand, people from every land. We're set apart, not here for fame, we rise in power in Yah's great name.
Okay, y'all. I hope you liked it. This will be published after the live stream. All right, I will get it published. And all of the music is together. I have a playlist called Music, and you'll be able to go out there and play all the songs if you want, but this one will be added to it as well. All right. All right. So let's get into the reason why we are here. Let's see here. Okay. Share. Okay. That, yeah, it's better. All right, y'all. So again, this happened on the 4th of July. You know, they're celebrating their Gentile holidays. And this happened at 7 o'clock at night. So it was evening when this happened, 7 o'clock. And you know, when you see this clip I'm going to show you, you can see it was a lot of people on Lake Lanier with their boats. It was a lot of white people, y'all, out there. And this boat was kind of like in the middle of all of the boats that were around, and it just exploded. Now, the cause of the explosion, I don't think they know yet, but all of the people that were on the boat had to be hospitalized. Some got second and third degree burns, and one person was so injured they had to be airlifted. Yosef, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Lisa Cabrera, for everything. And thank you for being here and supporting my channel. All right. So let me play this video and I'll do some commentary. Here we go.
Breaking at 11, 7 people walk away alive but with painful burn injuries after a boat exploded on Lake Lanier. Atlanta News First reporter Alani Latang is live on Lake Lanier in Beaufort tonight. And Alani, you actually just got some new information from authorities.
Yeah, we're now learning that 7 people got injured with second and third degree burns, all of them going to the hospital. But a very traumatic scene for a lot of people that saw it and then were watching the rescue happen. So what we know from officials from the Department of Natural Resources and Hall County Fire is that that boat was being towed when it suddenly erupted and exploded, sending up 5-foot flames near the Margaritaville area of Lake Lanier. They say that the tow operator actually rescued all of them, and people, again, just describing that horrifying aftermath. Officials say they range in ages from just 5 years old to 45 years old. Again, it was very hard for witnesses to see.
They were crying, screaming, and you could see that they had been burnt.
Yeah, and that cause of the fire is still under investigation, and Hall County and the DNR are both investigating how this all happened. But we do know that everyone will be okay, but very traumatic, especially for those children. Reporting live on Lake Lanier, I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.
Okay, y'all, that is a shame.
I know how to make slick-looking goggles/glasses, but
what a freak accident that was. And so, as you can see, they said they were towing this boat. So apparently something was wrong with it, you know? But I'm sure, you know, after investigating, they'll figure out what it was. But they said this boat was actually being towed. So something occurred to this boat. And then it just, as it was being towed, it burst into flames. You know, that place, you know, I knew someone that used to drive past that place. down there in Georgia. And they told me when you get around that area, an eerie feeling hits you instantly. And he said, I did not know what it was for a long time. And then they learned about what happened in that area, Oscarville. And they said, I kid you not, when you drive down the road, you'll feel okay driving. And then as soon as you hit around that area, something just comes over you, you know? And it just goes to show you, no, the spirits are still there. Those spirits are still there. Hmm. And like I said, there has not been any justice for all of those lives that were lost. There's a lot of people that live in Jacksonville, Florida, because a lot of them left and went into Florida and, in other parts of Georgia, the people that could get out. But there's quite a few of the descendants of Oscarville that lives in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where some of them ran, when they had to get out. And of course, the others did not make it out. They didn't make it out. They just flooded that place and took all of their lives. Didn't care. Didn't care at all. So that lake is cursed. That's why people every single year are drowning in it, and it's all kinds of things happening. When some people did go down in the water and came up, and they said they were freaked out. I did a video, it was a documentary that was done, and I probably still got that video. And the people that lived around the lake, they were studying, because believe it or not, even in Georgia, everybody don't know the story of Lake Lanier. You would think they would know, but they all don't know. And some people went down in the water and were shocked at what they saw. They said when you go down there, you literally can see the trees, you can see some of the houses, you can see like a church, they said you can see that stuff down there. You know, that is creepy. And then of course there's the ones that go down and they never ever come back up. And they got to go down there and get, they got to send someone to dive down in there to recover the body. It is crazy. It is crazy. It's so much evil, y'all. It's so many places that have that history. Lake Lanier is one of many places they've done that multiple times. Okay. They didn't just do that to Oscarville, they did that to other places, to our people. There's a lot of man made lakes in America, and start studying the history of what was there before that man made lake. And 9 times out of 10, our people were once in that spot, and they also lost their lives when they came in there and flooded the place to make a man made lake. They only did that in places where our people live. These people are rotten. They are rotten. Mhm. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunate. I wish this was one place and that's it. No, they did this multiple times, y'all. Yeah, I heard Takar. I did hear about the 24 people in Texas, the flooding down there. Yeah, I mean, look, you notice how catastrophic the weather has become? Oh, yeah, the weather has actually become more deadly. And we know, our Heavenly Father is going to weaponize the weather. And he's been doing that all along. We haven't even seen the hurricanes yet. We're just getting into the season, but they are coming. And one thing I do know, because we got hit by Hurricane Sandy, we took a direct hit. The more intense a hurricane is towards the end of the season. So when you start getting into fall, those hurricanes are the strongest. They are the absolute strongest. The ones that you see now, they're not quite as strong, but they still dump a lot of rain. Even, I know a lot of people think a category 1 is nothing. No, even a category 1 can kill you because it dumps so much rain. It can literally dump like 10 inches of rain within hours. So even a category 1 is dangerous. I know some people think it's not because it's just a 1. No, that's not necessarily true. All of those hurricanes come with a lot of things. It comes with, of course, thunder, lightning, wind. It comes with tornadoes, and it comes with a hell of a lot of water. And it's nothing for a hurricane to dump anything like 7 to 10 inches in a location and just flood it out. Mhm. So y'all, I hope those people recover. That is a hell of a thing to happen when you're out there in your boat. You don't expect it to explode. Sage Talk Media, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Lisa. Please check your Etsy mail. I am trying to make a purchase on Etsy, but it's not going through. Sorry to be off topic. I can help you, um, Sage. We got to wait until after Sabbath. I try not to do any business during Sabbath, but after Sabbath is over, I will reach out to you and try to help you get through it. Okay. Derek Boston, thank you for the super chat. People need to avoid that lake at all costs. You know what they do, but they've made it a big vacation spot. That's why you got people there, in their boats or swimming in the lake because they made it they made a place where they killed people a vacation spot, y'all. I mean, go figure. Man Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. God has not forgotten about here in Texas. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, if you go and just punch in man-made lakes, yeah, look at what was there before the lake was, and you'll see a lot of times it was our people, our forefathers and foremothers. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I Polo Styles, you ain't never lie. I never got the concept of having a wedding at a plantation. But I guess if you are the offspring of slave owners, it just seems good that you worked people to death and tortured them and killed them and maimed them. I guess that makes you happy. So you want to go to that place and you want to have your wedding. But that was not the only thing. They had parties, and some people actually stayed in them on vacation. Yeah, I mean, it is demonic. That place is a vacation spot. Nah, but these folks are not us. That's why, over the years, it's starting to become really offensive when they say, oh, we're all the same. No, we're not. I ain't no damn colonizer. I'm not no conquistador. I'm not, I ain't none of them things. I don't come from people that did the things that colonizers, conquistadors, and all you little monster, you offspring of monsters, and these Arabs that also were full participants in slavery. We ain't like you. I don't want to be told that we're like you. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, so y'all, I'm going to conclude, and I will be getting the Bible study up soon within the hour. So some of you I will see later, and some of you that don't come, you have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom, family.